The nonpartisan Wisconsin Legislative Audit Bureau has released its audit of the financial statements of the state of Wisconsin for fiscal year 2025. This audit was published as report number 25-33 in December 2025. The following is the report summary. The Department of Administration, or DOA, prepares the State of Wisconsin's Annual Comprehensive Financial Report, or ACFR, which contains the state's financial statements prepared in accordance with Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, or GAAP, prescribed by the Governmental Accounting Standards Board, or GASB. The ACFR includes the financial information on state funds, including the state's general fund, the transportation fund, the unemployment reserve fund, the University of Wisconsin or UW system, and the Wisconsin retirement system. We provided unmodified opinions on the financial statements and related notes of the state of Wisconsin as of and for the year ended June 30, 2025. We provide an unmodified opinion when audit evidence supports the conclusion that the financial statements provide a fair view of an entity's financial activity in accordance with GAAP. Our unmodified opinions are included in the state's ACFR, which may be found on DOA's website. We conducted the financial audit by auditing the state's financial statements in accordance with applicable government auditing standards, issuing our auditor's opinions, reviewing internal controls, and issuing our auditor's report on internal control and compliance. We also reviewed certain aspects of the federal funding the state received for the public health emergency, and we include in our report certain other matters of interest related to the state's fiscal year 2025 activities. The general fund total fund balance decreased from $4.5 billion as of June 30, 2024 to $3.9 billion as of June 30, 2025. The fund balance of the general fund is made up of several components, and the largest is the committed fund balance. The committed fund balance of $2.0 billion is made up of the balance held in the Statutory Budget Stabilization Fund, which is also known as the state's rainy day fund. The balance in this fund increased by $91.7 million in fiscal year 2025, primarily from interest income. Total revenue increased by $292.8 million and was $38.7 billion in fiscal year 2025. This increase was largely attributed to an increase of $934.5 million in tax revenues, which was partially offset by a decrease in federal revenues of $525.5 million. Total expenditures increased by $459.8 million and were $36.4 billion in fiscal year 2025. This increase was largely the result of grants and aids to individuals and organizations under the Medical Assistance or MA program, increases in shared revenue payments to counties and other local governments, and increased tax relief. The unassigned fund balance, which are the amounts that are not restricted or committed for a specific purpose, totaled $1.1 billion. The unassigned fund balance represents that as of June 30, 2025, more resources were available than were spent or obligated in the short term. The state's long-term debt decreased from $11.6 billion as of June 30, 2024 to $10.9 billion as of June 30, 2025. The state repaid long-term debt in excess of new debt issuances during fiscal year 2025, resulting in a decrease in overall debt. The $1.8 billion in new general obligation bonds and notes issued during fiscal year 2025 included $666.9 million for UW system academic facilities and $403.0 million for transportation projects. In fiscal year 2025, the state continued to expand federal funding received to address the effects of the public health emergency. The Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds, or CSLFR program, distributed money directly to state, local, tribal, and territorial governments. The state was allocated $3.0 billion in funding and was advanced $1.5 billion in May 2021, $1.3 billion in May 2022, and $205.8 million in June 2022. Federal regulations stipulate that eligible expenditures must be incurred between March 3, 2021 and December 31, 2024, and spent through December 31, 2026. DOA reported that $458.6 million in expenditures at 21 state agencies was incurred and paid by the CSLFR in fiscal year 2025. The largest total expenditures were incurred by DOA, the Department of Children and Families, or DCF, the Department of Workforce Development, or DWD, and the Department of Health Services, or DHS. DHS is continuing to spend $404.1 million in additional federal funds received under the MA program as allowed by the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA. We make 17 recommendations to state agencies. We report significant deficiencies in DOA's information technology, or IT, security related to inefficient reviews of access and inefficient IT policy exceptions procedures. In addition, DOA continued to be in statutory noncompliance by providing insufficient oversight and monitoring of executive branch agency IT operations. Given that these concerns have continued for several years, we recommend DOA continue to report quarterly to the Joint Legislative Audit Committee in 2026 on the status of its efforts to provide oversight and monitoring of state agency IT operations. We also report a significant deficiency in internal control over financial reporting related to DOA's financial reporting for interest earnings on advanced CSLIFR funds, and a material weakness in internal control over financial reporting related to the Department of Transportation's financial reporting for changes to infrastructure capital assets. In addition, we report on certain other matters of interest, including the $177.5 million in interest earnings on advanced funding for the CSLIFR program, the receipt of $97.0 million in opioid settlement funds by DHS as of June 30, 2025, a deficit balance of $41.9 million as of June 30, 2025 in the unemployment interest and penalty account in the general fund, which DWD indicated will take 15 years to resolve, a continuing balance of $18.0 million as of June 30, 2025 in the health insurance fringe benefit variance account, which DOA is responsible for resolving, the transfer of funds from the general fund to the local government fund, which we described in Report 25-11, and non-compliance in deposits to the Bond Security and Redemption Fund. Please see the complete list of recommendations on our website. We identify an item for future consideration. On July 7, 2025, UW System implemented a new enterprise resource planning system, which will affect financial reporting for fiscal year 2026. Because UW System is part of the state's financial reporting entity, it must meet timelines established by DOA related to the compilation and preparation of the state's fiscal year 2026 ACFR. UW System Administration will need to work more closely with DOA during the fiscal year 2026 financial reporting process, including proactively communicating to ensure UW System Administration does not delay DOA's financial reporting for the state. To view this and other publications from the Nonpartisan Wisconsin Legislative Audit Bureau, please visit our website at www.legis.wisconsin.gov/lab. To report fraud, waste, and mismanagement in state government, please contact our hotline at 1-877-FRAUD-17.